Hello everyone, we're blazing the screen for Microsoft Surface Pro. This is Surface Pro 4, 5, and 6. They're all the same way. So 4, 5, and 6. This is 5. This is Microsoft Surface Pro 5, but also the same way you can use for Surface Pro 4 or 6. First, we're gonna have to heat all around the screen to make the video a little shorter. I already did most of it, so I'm gonna demonstrate how you do it. So you can take your time. Usually it takes maybe roughly like 30 minutes to make sure to remove the screen correctly from all around the edges, carefully going all around the screen with the hot air. So you're using the hot air to go all the way around the screen. With this one. Just for the reflection. So I'm just gonna go around all around the screen to heat up the edges to loosen the adhesive all around the surface. And then you can use like the opener to open a little bit, and then you can use the rubbing alcohol between, and then you can use also the plastic card all to go all around the edges. You don't have to go too deep inside so you don't cut a cable or something. So you're just gonna go around the edges with a plastic card. It takes, as I said, it takes about 30 minutes roughly to remove all the glue and adhesive all around the edges of the screen. So you can, okay, there's two cables are holding on the back of this screen. Okay, I will remove them. It's how to take a video or film how I remove the cables. But usually you're just gonna lift up the screen just slightly from the bottom to the top like this, just enough to remove the bracket. There the bracket holding the cable to the right. This is the bracket. This is, you can use a tweezer or maybe a plastic right to remove it. This is for the right side, and then you can use the plastic tool to unplug the cable. Once you unplug the cable, you can lift the screen up a little bit from right to left and remove the other bracket for the other cable, which is this one, and then you unplug the other cable. So this is how you do it. There we go. So here's the screen. Remove the screen. So there's two cables, as I mentioned, one to the right, one to the left. Here we go. This is the cables. And this cable will have to move over to the new screen in order for us to reuse it. So two cables. So you're just gonna, again, the cameras is on the top right here. So once you open it, you're gonna go up, lift it up a little bit until you will be able to remove the right side bracket and unplug the cable with the plastic, and then you do the other way, the other side too, the same way. Okay, now we have to remove the cables so we can use. First of all, I was able to shut down the screen was functioning enough to shut down the tablet or the surface. If you're not able to shut it down, you would have to disconnect the battery. I will mention that in a different video while we're moving another battery or something. But right now, this one is already off, so you can work normally. If it's not off, you have to disconnect the battery to turn it off. Okay, now I will need to remove the cables to move it to a new screen. There's also a bracket here holding the cable. Surface they all have this type of brackets like holding the cables in place. So we're gonna have to carefully remove the bracket. Okay. So we'll just lift it up carefully a little bit. See, this is the bracket. This is the one holding the cable on the screen. Now I will unplug the cable. There you go. This is the first cable. The second cable has like some type of little board to the side. So we're gonna have to remove the bracket first to unplug the screen cable, and then move the whole board to the other screen. So we will do it like 2 steps. I'm gonna use plastic not to damage the board. Eventually it will come off. I'll have to be careful. There we go. There's the bracket holding the cables for the screen. There we go. Here's the bracket came off, and also the cable was almost loose, so it's unplugged. So this is the bracket. I'm just trying to fix it a little bit. We're gonna have to use it again. Now we have to unplug the cables from the screen. So we open the socket just like that, and then we pull back the cable. You pull it away from the board just like that. Here we go. So here's the screen cables are out. Now we need to reuse this board, so we're gonna remove it. It also has like kind of adhesive holding it to the screen, so we just can use some, loosen it with some rubbing alcohol and a plastic card. And my plastic tool to remove it. There we go. So this is the little board that we will use on the other new screen. Also the cables. Okay. Now I have this new screen. I will start to use it. Start to move the board and the cables to it. This is a brand new screen. First I'm gonna put back the same board that I just removed from the other screen. Here's the first cable. taking my time to make sure that you don't damage the cable and to put it back in place. I think is good like that. This is going stick back to the edge of the screen. I will gonna need to test it first before I actually put the bracket. Or we can just put the bracket and if we have to, we're gonna have to move it again. But as far as I can see, it's in correctly. So let's just put the bracket in the meantime. And if it doesn't work for any reason, we're gonna have to remove it again. Um, okay, this is one. And here's the second cable. There we go. And this also has this little cover to hold the cable. Now I will try to install the screen and test it. Again, we have to go all around the frame. You have to clean up all the edges or the surface of the frame. Make sure it's all clean. It has no glass or more stuff that will prevent from gluing back the screen. It's all cleaned up. Now I will put the cables back and test it. Again, there's two cables. I can show you this one easy since I'm gonna have to lift it from the other side. So now here's the small cable and Right here is the second cable. Here, and install the second cable too. I prefer you will, if you're able to disconnect the battery. In the meantime, just disconnect it until you unplug the cable. Now I'm gonna try to test it. Here we go. You can see that the screen is already lit up for a second. Touch screen seems to be working. Everything looks fair. So I'm just gonna go ahead and shut it down and then continue. Again, now I would need to put back the brackets to hold the two cables for the screen. This is the right one, the bigger one. It's very hard to film. It's really tight inside, so it's just, you're gonna have to just cover the cable. There's no really anything hard about that. Just putting back the bracket to cover the socket and the cable. This one I barely can see it, but eventually I have to use it. There we go. I think it's all the way in. Okay. Now we gonna need to glue the screen. Glue back the screen in place. This one also, the screen, if you notice, it comes with a double-sided taped adhesive to